And then also, one of my early teachers.
So I'm going to walk around and show you guys this photograph of Nataraja. And this is Shiva Nataraja. And we get a pose called Vajrasana, which is the dancer's pose. We have dancing Shiva pose, we have a king dancer pose, but this is the way it's often depicted. And so the story behind this represents the cosmic dance, or the dance of bliss. We've called it Ananda Tandava, is the cosmic dance. So it's the dance between creation and dissolution. It's the dance between duality and non-duality. It's the dance back and forth. And it's depicted as Shiva dancing in the middle of a ring of fire. And that ring of fire can represent the transformational energy. Some people look at it as destruction, but it's not destruction because it's just changing it to a different form. It's a transmutation, it's a transformation of sorts. So I wanted to bring this up today because last week we started off with Ganesh and we were talking about the tusk of Ganesh and what it represented. And one of them represented emotion, which goes back to duality, which causes division and drama. Sound familiar? We got an election coming up. Sound familiar? And he tore that tusk off and maintained wisdom, the wisdom to rise above it. Well, this story kind of has a similar representation in it because I don't know if you saw, but when Shiva is in that cosmic dance, he's standing on top of a little dwarf, and the dwarf had a name, but it's a Sanskrit name, I don't remember it. And name doesn't matter. What it represents is standing and stomping out Maya illusion. What blocks us from seeing the truth of the reality of the world and ourselves and our place in it. What it does is it's standing on top of ignorance and trying to stomp out the ignorance, again, that blocks us from having a higher perspective or gaining a higher state of consciousness so that we're rising above the duality that creates division and drama. So I think this is a really important topic, especially with an election coming up, especially right now with the way the state of the world is. It's not just happening here, it's happening everywhere. If you're limiting yourself to US news, broaden it and look beyond US news, and it's happening literally everywhere in the world, pockets here, there. So as yogis, what we're trying to do when we come to the mat, what we're trying to do when we come to this practice, we're trying to neutralize that emotional charge so that we're not playing that or making it worse or feeding into that matrix. So we can be the light, we can hold the light, we can shine the light, and that will make a bigger impact upon the mass consciousness than being divided and polarized and saying this, that, and the other. I heard this podcast this morning and I thought it was great. She said, you know, everybody looks at things as being black or white. And she said, but there's so much gray. What if the gray was the silver lining? I thought that was so cool. I was like, ooh, what if the gray was the silver lining? Anyway, something to ponder. We're going to get up and stand, and we're going to use this towel to do something a little different today. Since we're building up to dancing Shiva, and then that dancer's pose, we need to open up and get some movement here in the hips. It is a back bend, so back bends are not just the spine, it's hips and shoulders as well. So we're actually going to step off the mat onto the wood floor, and we're going to take this towel underneath the right foot, and we're going to elevate the right heel. You're going to stand strong and sturdy on the left leg. And when you're ready, you're just going to skate the right foot forward and back. And at the same time, you're going to take your arms and alternate them, just as if you were like, you know, walking quickly. Try to keep your torso elevated over your hips so that you're not leaning forward or back. Let's just do a couple more on this side. And then come back and swap sides. So you're going to take the towel underneath the left foot, elevate that left heel. Same approach here, just gliding the foot back and forth. Standing strong on the right leg, rooting down through the right foot, and lifting up through the crown of the head. Inhaling to one, exhaling to the other, but going at a pretty good moderate pace. We'll do our centering breath for more mindful motion in a moment. All right, and then you can slow that down. If you wanted to warm up the hip and try something fun, I'm going to move my mat back a moment so this can be on video. You can do something of this nature where you're getting into plank, having it underneath the foot, and you're taking it in a circle. Several times on one side, and then swapping it to the other. And you're gonna feel like you're cleaning Jen's floor. Or you may feel like, wait a minute, this is running a Karate Kid. Wax home, wax home. And just do like 3 to 5 on each side, right? You're just warming up the hips. And some people like to go behind the hands so they're not having to lift the hands. I like to try to scissor out and lift one hand up and then lift the other hand. And you want to try to maintain plank. Oh, all right, let's be done with that exercise. And set the towel off to the side. We're going to come now to a prone position onto the belly. We're going to separate the feet wide. And I just want you to go ahead and wiggle and rock the hips side to side. Loosen up your low back, loosen up your legs. And then cross your arms in front of you and bow your head. Go ahead and close your eyes. And take deep breaths in and out through the nose. This is a passive crocodile pose. So let your lower body stay relaxed. You're getting just a slight gentle back bend, nothing fierce. But as you're breathing diaphragmatically, we're trying to strengthen and tone that muscle that allows the air to suction into the lungs and also expresses it back out. This will also aid digestion. And within our digestive tract, it's not just about the foods that we need to process, but the experiences we need to process in life. Set your intention to neutralize any charged emotions, to come back into a state of oneness, what is the state of yoga, so that you can gain a higher level of consciousness to rise above any daily drama. And notice how your breath, when you're controlling it in this way, can help to provide a calming agent for the mind, a calming agent for the nervous system, and a bridgeway back to our spirit, our true self. All right, take 2 more deep breaths. And on your next inhale, gently start to lift your head up. Draw the legs closer together. So go ahead and stack onto your forearms with your elbows lining up the head of the shoulder bones. Fingertips are going to splay out, propping up your heart, lengthening through your leg bones and feet, as well as through the sides of your neck. Still a gentle back bend, but much more dynamic than where we just were. The dancer's pose will include a back bend, but it also includes a quad stretch. It requires an open hip. So we're going to go ahead and turn the left forearm in front of us. We're going to pick up the right foot, take the right hand around to grab the big toe side. So take it to the inside of the foot, and then you're going to pull that heel down towards your outer hip and thigh. Now you can stay in the twist and look back towards the foot. You can also let the twist go and look straight ahead. So you can determine which you want to do. Deep breaths. This is half frog. You're in control of how much or little you pull in. Protect your knee. If it causes any disruption in your back, you're welcome to lower down more towards the chest, sliding the left arm out ahead. You can also lower your head to the arm and leave the back out altogether. One more deep breath. Good, let's release that side. Replace your left forearm with your right. Turn to gaze over the left shoulder. Pick up the left foot. Grab it with your left hand. And you're gently pulling it down like a lever towards the outside of your hip or thigh. Staying in the twist or turning back to face the front. Breathing in and out slowly through the nose. Couple more deep breaths. When you're ready, release the left foot. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, come down to your brow. The legs are lined up to be parallel so that when you push down to your palms, you can lift up to tabletop position. For tabletop position, keep your hands super glued to the mat. Sit back towards your heels. Keep the elbows flying up away from the floor. The head tracking between the upper arm bones. And it can hover or land to your mat. Yogi's choice. On your next inhale, lift your head and your heart. Walk your hands over to the right side to the wood floor and gently lower it back in. Feel that curve from your left hip through your left side waist, up through the left arm. Breathe into your left lung. The breath helps to purify the nerve roots. It can purify the lungs. That can also help to purify the mind and body. Clearing out any excess thoughts. Clearing out any excess feelings. Inhale, gently lift up out of that side child's. Walk your hand over to the other side and release downward. Feel your right side body puffing up as you inhale. Feel it softly deflate on the exhale. Next in breath, gently lift the head and the heart. Walk your hands so that they're shoulder distance apart in front of you. Rock up to hands and knees, curl the toes under, launch into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. Now push up and out of your wrist. Create that diagonal line from your wrist to your hips. And then start to walk the dog. So bend one knee really deep, straighten the opposite leg and sink that heel down. So one heel really elevated, bending that opposite knee, and now the opposite heel settling down. And you're just moving back and forth at a pretty slow pace. And then casually begin to travel the feet forward towards the top of the mat. When the feet travel towards the top of the mat, let your upper body hang free. Come into Uttanasana, distributing the weight evenly between the left and the right. Gravitate the heart lower towards your knees and shins. Affirming here as you hold, nothing and no one on this earth can hold me down or back. Root down to the soles of the feet, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. When you come up to the top, we're gonna shift the hips forward, lift through the floating ribs, gently arch back, bring the arms back, the head back, and then exhale, swan dive forward and down to your Uttanasana. Once you release down to your Uttanasana, we're gonna inhale, step the left foot back. When you step the left foot back, you're gonna drop the back knee, shin, and foot. All right, you're gonna root heavily through your right foot. You're gonna scissor through the inseam of your thighs to draw up to the pelvic floor with your root block. Take the arms up overhead, Anjaneyasana, and then exhale as you sweep the hands, sink and settle the hips lower. Good, inhale, press through the right foot. Draw up, 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 create space between each vertebra. And then exhale, fan the hands and settle back down. Now pause here for just a moment. Let your arms just kind of relax like a rag doll. Let your head relax like a rag doll. And feel that work through your back thigh and the back iliopsoas. That iliopsoas is a muscle that connects the lower and the upper half of the body together. It's literally holding us in place. Take one more deep breath. And then root down to the right foot. Inhale, rise back up. This time, however, we're going to try to distribute a back bend. So when you're ready, start to lift again through your floating ribs. Start to arc through the back. Draw the shoulders back. Open your throat up. Gaze up towards the upper portion of this wall you're facing or towards the ceiling. Exhale, fan the arms out, plant your palms. Tuck the back toes under. Step it into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From your downward facing dog, feel the difference between the left and the right hip. Inhale, lengthen more. As you exhale, drop the knees. Shift your weight forward past your wrist and sink down like you're going to drink from a creek. And then inhale, push with your hands, glide the heart through, come to Bhujangasana Cobra, shoulders loop back, pubic bone on the floor. The buttocks is firm, the elbows are squeezing in, space between the shoulders and ears. And then as you exhale, we're going to lower back down. All right, your left arm is going to reach out in front and you're going to bring Dhyana Mudra in, index thumb together. This is going to be a hybrid pose, half bow, half locust. Draw your right foot in. Take your right hand around to find the foot. When you're ready, inhale, you're lifting up. If you can't hold your right foot or holding the right foot is preventing you from lifting your lower body, just do locusts, where you're lifting both arms, both legs, like this. It's okay, because this is a tough one. One more breath. Exhale, release. Now slide your hands under your shoulders. Curl your toes under. Pluck the knees off the floor. Look down below your face so the head is up. And then push through your palms. See if you can defy gravity and come straight up plank. If not, tabletop works. Good. Exhale, down dog. Make sure there's just a slim distance between the big toes. And that you're creating this inversion. Sailing your seat skyward. Slow, deep yogic breaths. So that calmness can radiate within every fiber of your being. On your next in-breath, we're going to step the left foot forward and up between the hands. Give yourself a helping hand if need be. Sink the knee, untuck the toes. Root that left foot. Come up to Anjaneyasana. Good. Exhale, release. Inhale again, coming up. Root like belly lock. Exhale, release. Now collapse over the front knee, bow the head. Feel free to close your eyes. Sometimes it's quite surprising the difference between the two sides. So notice what's showing up in your body today without judgment, without condemnation. Maybe emphasizing a longer, stronger out breath here. On the next inhale, we're going to root that left foot. We're going to come right back up. Except this time, we're going to distribute that back bend. Holding and breathing up into the heart center. Exhale, hands down. Curl the back toes under. When you're ready, step that back foot forward. Lower down and into your Uttanasana, you're standing forward. Fold. Next in breath, push down to the soles of the feet. Sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. Take that back bend. Exhale, swan dive down, Uttanasana. All right, we're going to be changing it up this time. Inhale, left foot's going to step back. The back heel is going to sink down, okay? The left arm is going to circle up. Feel that rotation turning you towards that hallway door, and then float your right arm up. So you're coming into Virabhadrasana 2. Glue down your back foot, straighten out your back leg. Glue down the front foot, roll open through the front thigh. Draw up through the navel, and then turn your palms open. Notice when you turn your palms open, the head of the shoulder bones roll back. Keep that, and only isolate and spin your hand down. And that's going to make it more available to tap into the biceps. Reach through the fingertips, gaze down the front hand. Affirming and joyfully manifest the power of my own strength and perseverance. Exhale, we're going to bring the right hand down first. Lift the back heel as you lower your left hand. Good, right foot down dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, be here. Head lowering between the arms, looking in the direction of the feet. Inversions are meant to help us to open our minds to see things differently than the way we typically do. In Buddhism, they often refer to something called the middle way. Think of the middle way being the gray area that could be potentially the silver lining we need. Exhale, come down to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. When you're ready, slither through Cobra Bhujangasana. Let your shoulders loop back. You can be low, you can be medium, you can be King Cobra, as long as you're allowing the back to do most of the work. All right, exhale, let's lower. Slide your right arm out. Create Dhyana Mudra with that hand. Pick up the left foot. Hold that foot. When you're ready, create this hybrid pose, half bow, half locust, unless you just want locust. I know this pose is hard to breathe in, much less talk in. So bring the pose to life through the power of the breath so that you're not as stiff as a statue. Good, exhale, release. Slide the hands underneath the shoulders. Shoulders back away from the ears, tuck the toes, pluck up your knees. Now you can come through table or push straight up plank, building a little extra strength. Good, now settle back, downward facing dog. Breathe here and breathe here. Next in breath, left foot's gonna step through between the hands. The back foot's gonna spiral to the floor. The right arm's gonna start to circle up. And we stay grounded to the feet. Keep the same positioning to the lower body as you float your left hand up. Now check in, make sure you have equanimity in your side waist. After you've checked your foundation. Once spreading the arms, flip the palms open. And then only turn the hands down. Feel the difference. Set your gaze down the front fingertips. I joyfully manifest the power of my own strength and perseverance. Exhale, bring the left hand down, spin off the back heel, then lower the right hand. You got it. Step the back foot forward. And drop in. Bowing down and trying to slim the space between the two halves. All right, we're going to do another sun south, so root down to Sura. We'll take the back bend at the top. Exhale, release. Inhale, this time stepping the left foot back. Lower the back heel to the mat. Float your hands up and keep the front knee lunging. It's the same positioning that we just did for warrior two. But we're gonna lace the hands together behind the back. We're gonna roll the shoulders back, open up the chest. As we exhale, slightly turn your trunk towards the front leg, but not all the way, because you're not in a good place to do that with your back foot. We're doing humble warrior from warrior two. It's a little different. Bow to the inside of the right thigh. Tuck the right hip in. Notice if your jaw's tightening, if your teeth are gripping. If so, loosen it out. Inhale, lift up just slightly, long enough to release the hands and to spin off the back heel to the toes. When you're ready, right foot down dog. We're taking it from a C Surya Namaskar today, a C sun salutation, which is why we're not doing chaturangas. So take a deep breath in here. Exhale to knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Pranam. The hips stay in midair as you come down. And then untuck the toes, slither through to the belly, create cobra. From your cobra, take another deep breath in, and then slowly lower to your chest and chin. All right, so we're going for wheel. Not wheel, bow. If you can't do bow, just go back to locust, no problem. All right, so bring both heels now in towards the glutes. Your hands are gonna circle around to find the feet or front of the ankles. And on the in breath, we're lifting head, chest, thighs. The belly, the pubic bone is the foundation. And breathe. So you're on the diaphragm muscle. If you're breathing correctly, there'll be slight rocking. Don't create the rocking physically. Allow it to stem from your pranayama. Good, exhale, release out, lower the hands and feet. All right, from here, instead of going straight up plank, we're gonna push up to table. Draw the hands back so they're lining directly underneath your shoulders. Drop the tailbone, scoop and hollow out the belly, scoop and hollow out the chest, and let the head hang down. Basically creating cat stretch as a nice counter. Breathe. Now sink back towards extended child's pose, slide your hands out, keep the elbows rising up. So the extension of the arms is creating traction in your back. All right, inhale, rock up. Exhale, curl the toes, flip the knees up, plank. From holding your plank, exhale, push back, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna go for humble warrior, but the left foot needs to be in the lead. So inhale, step the left foot through. Spin down to your back heel. Keep that forward knee bent and float your hands up. So remember, you don't want the knee to cave in. You want to keep it stacked with precision over the ankle, facing the smaller toes. Lace your hands behind your back, shoulders roll back. And then slightly turn towards the corner of the room, and you can bow to the inside of that front thigh and knee. The head can release, the left hip can pop. The breath stays full. Good, inhale, come up halfway, release the hands down, spin off the back heel, bring the back foot forward and lower down. This time when you lower down and in, take your arms behind your legs, grab a hold of your wrists, slide them down back of your calves, and notice how it closes you in a little deeper. It's okay to bend the knees if you need to. This time you may actually get a little compression with the belly and thighs. On your next in breath, release your hands. Sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. Take that one last standing backward bend here. And then exhale, bring hands together and lower to the heart. So we did several C sun salutations. We're going to move into a balancing pose. So I want you to look down towards your left foot. And I want you to spread the toes, broaden the base of it, and soften your right knee. We're going to open up from that hip, and you can keep the foot resting here, or you can slide it to your calf or your inner thigh. Basically going for Vrikshasana tree. The arms can also equally lift overhead. Concentrate your eyes. Bring the hands down. Let the foot release down. All right, separate the toes on the right foot. That will help to broaden the base of the foot. It'll help you to connect more to the ground. And then soften the left knee, turn open from the hip. You can be here. You can be here. Just no pressure to the knee with that left foot. So go above or below. And then the hands can express themselves according to your desire. Being calm, poised. Hands down. Foot. All right, grab your strap. Totally lost the strap. You're gonna let the strap hang over the left shoulder. Now look down at your feet, line them up like you would stand in Tadasana. Let the strap hang down the back because we're gonna lift the left arm. We're gonna turn the hand to face the back wall. Hinge from the elbow to hold the strap. Now, if your elbow wants to flop out for any reason, your right hand is gonna tuck it in. Then the right hand is gonna flow behind the back. The palm is facing the back wall. Hold the strap. And then wiggle and walk it up. Hold the strap. Elevate your heart. Keep your legs stacked. Gomukhasana arms. And breathe. You guys are doing good in your stance. Sometimes I'll see people doing this just out of habit. So we want thighs rolling in. Neutral low back. The tailbone's not tucked. So if you feel like you're getting really ribby, really back bendy, soften your front ribs. Good. And release the right hand, and then you can bring the strap over to the right. Again, make sure it's hanging down. Lift the right arm, spin that palm, and find your strap. Tuck that elbow in if need be, and then sweep the left hand behind your back, finding the strap. Work it up. The eyes can be open or closed. But continue to breathe and open your heart. The affirmation here is, free in my heart, I choose to live without fear. I choose faith over fear. Out breath, release the left hand first, and then the right. We're done with the strap for now. We'll continue with our balancing poses. So step back on your mat a little bit, not a whole lot, just a little bit. And we're gonna step the left foot forward from the heel to the arch and spread out the toes. Good. Once you feel that solid base, the right leg's behind, just like we were doing that little exercise earlier, except now the right one's going to go behind the back and grab the big toe side of the foot. And the left arm's going to reach. We're going to move towards dancing Shiva. Dancing Shiva means we hinge from the hips. We push the back foot into the hand. And we keep the heart open and we look out. 3, Yeah. Take some release. Right. Now, step forward with your right heel. Come down to the arch and spread the toes. Get that solid foundation. Your left foot's back. Take the left arm back and catch the big toe side. Right arm goes forward and alongside you. You can be here, but if you want to hinge, go for it. And exhale, release. Okay. Those of you at the back wall, you're going to use the back wall. Ladies on this side, you can use the side wall, or Heather, you can come here. Actually, Heather, use that side wall with Mary. Mary Beth, come over here. And then you three can be up here. The first thing we're going to do is stand with our right side facing the wall. Look down at your feet, line the feet up in Tadasana forward. And then take your right arm and slide it up behind your back about shoulder height, palm flat to the surface. Now notice if you're leaning the hip into the wall, back away from the wall. Have your hips over your ankles. Roll the left shoulder back and pick up the sternum. Hold and breathe here. Feel this connective tissue becoming more porous. So I'll take a cleansing breath, breathe in through the nose. Let it go through the mouth. Let it slide on. All right, we're going to turn the body to the left. Again, you're not right at the wall, close to the wall. Lining up Tadasana form through the legs. Left arm slides up behind your back. Palm flat. Right shoulder rolls back. Sternum lifts. Breathe. I wanted to do King Arthur against the wall, but we're not gonna have time. Slide that hand down. Find your strap. And if anyone sees an extra strap around them that's already looped, let me know.
You remember when I walked in and you said, take my stuff, I'll make it new one?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Well, I had one earlier though. And maybe I did.
You said you told me to take it.
You might give it to me.
It's okay. But I didn't mean for you to leave the wall. Oh, sorry. Just get your strap, that's it. So now we're gonna go for the King Dancer pose. You don't have to do this against the wall, but it's easier to do it against the wall. And this is why. In King Dancer pose, the strap's gonna hold the foot. And I'll show you in just a moment. The arms are gonna be back. So when you're turned to the side, remember how we had the hand here? You could actually have your elbow resting against the wall to help with balance, which is why I like to do this pose next to the wall. So it looks like this. We're gonna lasso the outer foot. Let me show you first. The hand that's holding the strap is palm facing out initially. And then when you grab it and lift it up, the elbow turns up. Then the arm closest to the wall, you can slide it up the wall Find the strap, but you're not done here. You continue to walk the hands down the strap. You hinge from your hips. Your face is forward. Your heart is forward. And that is the king dancer pose. So when you're ready, standing next to the wall, lasso the outer foot. Open palm with the strap initially, slide it up, and then elevate the elbow up close to the ear. Then slide your left arm up the wall. Then from the elbow, find the strap behind your back. Very similar to what we did with Gomukhasana arms. Walk the hands down the strap, hinge from the hips. Let your heart face forward. Let your breath stay vibrant. Breathe. Good. On your next out breath, loosen your grip on your strap. So this is how you come out. The exit's as important as the entrance. So to exit out, you just loosen the strap, the foot comes down. And that way you're not having to stumble. Then we turn the body. And lasso the other foot. Palm, grip it, roll open, right arm shoots up, hand finds the strap, walk it down, hinge, back in, your head is up, you're looking out, that's it, Heather. And breathe, of course. Exhale, loosen the grip on the strap, let the foot slip out of the strap and come down. That's the big pose we were leading up to today. So we can come back to the mat. So since you worked on this pose to really open up the front of the hips and the heart, I feel like we need to go forward and really like steep into stillness. So hands to the chest. Circle the arms overhead. Exhale, pour down. Inhale, step back, downward facing dog. We're gonna go into pigeons. Bring the left knee and chin behind your hands. Extend the right leg back behind your back. And then let's just walk it out. If you need an alternative, Mary's the example today. Please listen to your body. Science has been developing a theory that all of creation has a similar fundamental design. But yoga has always said this. The microcosm and macrocosm are the same. Science is saying that we are made up of the same thing as stars. Science is showing all the different patterns that exist. Not just in nature, but within humankind. This is part of the cosmic dance. Even though things might appear to be completely random, there is organization, there is structure. There are synchronicities that we can discover behind it. creation is being cosmic dance. The dance that's guided by divine intelligence. Your next in breath, slowly start to come up. Stack onto your palms. Curl the back toes under. Now, if you're on your back, you can split, sorry. If you're switching it up from regular pigeon to the other pigeon, you can transition through down dog or plank. And then come into the opposite side, right shin coming forward. And when you're ready, gently walking it down. Melting and releasing as much as you wish, as much as your body allows. Be protective of your hip, knee, and ankle. And know that there's a perfect alternative where you're flipped on your back, and one ankle crosses over the opposite knee. I've shared this story in the past, but I want to share it again. There's a story of a woman who went to Auschwitz as a child. Her whole family was taken over, by the Nazis, taken to that concentration camp. And she experienced a lot of horror there. But her surviving mechanism was closing her eyes, imagining beautiful pieces of music playing in her head, and seeing herself dancing to that music. She created an alternate reality for herself. She created a state of bliss for herself, even in the middle of that chaos. And she survived, and she wrote a book about it. So what I want you to do is imagine yourself dancing in your mind's eye. Create a visual for yourself. Maybe you're slow dancing with your lover. Maybe it's freestyle, solo, out in the woods. Maybe it's on the mountaintop. Maybe it's at a rave. I don't care what you picture, but picture yourself dancing in your mind. Inhale, it slowly starts to come up. Feel free to come back to that imagery of dancing. So that's part of our theme today. You're going to lean onto that right hip, circle that left leg around in front. You're going to roll to your back, catch your knees. Coming into Apanasana. And then we're going to take a spinal twist. So open the arms, roll the knees over to the left. If you want it to be a deeper twist, you can always cross the right leg over your left leg. Your head can be stable or it can spin to one or the other shoulder. Inhale, roll the knees through center and allow them to land to the right. And sometimes the slower you rotate into the twist, the more you may receive a few pops in your spine. Open up the breath of life. So we did quite a few back bends today to build up for that peak pose. Go ahead and start considering what your body may need for Shavasana. If you want to grab any props to use, go ahead and roll to your right side, sit up, grab all the props you want to use. And if you don't want to use any props, just roll back to your spine. And you can slide the legs out into Shavasana or corpse pose. Feel free to give me a wave if you want any other props, and I'll be happy to bring them to you. So for Shavasana today, like every Shavasana, we form a comfortable position. We settle in, we get more relaxed to create a state of ease. And we want to keep our mind focused and one-pointed. So if you enjoyed that moment of using your imagination and creating a visual of you dancing with joy and an ecstatic bliss, then go back to that imagery. If instead you need a calming for the mind and a clearing for the mind, then become the observer of your breath. And if the mind wanders, then gently bring it back to the breath, over and over again. Slowly, more conscious of the breath, more engaged with the breath, more control of the breath. Once you regain command over the breath, awaken the body, gentle ways. Maybe hugging your knees in and rocking gently on your back from side to side. Eventually landing to one. Coming up for a seat. Once you create your seat, join your hands together to Anjali Mudra. You know this chant, you can recite it with me. It's the Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti is said 3 times. It means that we all walk away from this practice being free and at peace from anything out of our control, anything imposed upon us by another, or any internal stressors of our own. May we seek and achieve liberation. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste. Namaste.